This is Georgie Kelly from Bohemians Football Club. Make sure to subscribe to Irish Footy Vlogs for all your LOI content.
Hey guys, just finished at Carlisle here in Bray. Let's see our Trustee League First Division, and Bray Wanderers have been defeated again to a very, very young Cabinteely side. When the two teams came out, you would have expected a comfortable win for Bray, but it turned out to be a completely different story. Bray did take the lead on the verge of half time. A free kick from about 20 yards out, Conor Clifford under the wall, and poor goalkeeping by Adam Hayden, and the ball scrammed underneath. 1-0 to break to the Wanderers. Not deserved. A draw would have been a fair result at half time, but Bray were ahead nonetheless. Came out in the second half, and all night Bray they just looked very, very lethargic, and there was nothing to trouble Adam Hayden really in the Cabinteely goal. Mark Bourne brought Cabot player down in the second half on the hour mark, and the referee pointed to the spot. It was a blatant penalty, and Kevin Knight made sure of the goal, 1-1. And then I know, I could have said it was only one winner, but it was neither side really threatened. And then as Bray were looking to push forward late on, Cabinteely played the ball onto the left hand side. The ball was played across the box and was put into his own net by Mark Bourne. 2-1 to Cabot, and for all the pressure laid on, Bray didn't have any chances apart from the last minute. Very last kick of the ball, Aaron Barry had the goal at his mercy, but he ended up shooting wide. Worrying times for Bray. Playoffs almost guaranteed. I believe Treaty and Athlone is 1-1, but Bray won't get through the playoffs if they play like they did tonight. Very, very worrying times, and they need to improve, need to up their game tenfold, because Treaty, UCD and Galway will be more than happy to get Bray in the playoffs if tonight's performance is on to go by. So finished again, very disappointingly. Cabinteely have come away with the 3 points. Bray Wanderers 1, Cabinteely 2.
Alright, just leaving the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium here after a pulsating game between St. Pat's and Derry City. On the balance of play, St. Pat's probably deserved something out of the game. In the first half, they hit the woodwork twice. They dominated Gardside, had to make a few saves. Second half was a wee bit more even. Derry, St. Pat's started the half the brightest. Again, Gardside having to make a save to keep us in the game. But as the half wore on, Derry grew on it. Substitution. Derry brought on Jack Malone, who changed the game on Old Garden. Rory Higgins brought on Jack Malone, who added an extra man on the midfield. Jack was instrumental in the goal Derry scored. He won the ball in the middle of the park. He played in Jamie McGonigal, who played a great ball in for Junior to head home the winner. After that, there wasn't much happening in terms of chances until there was a double red card, one for Ronan Coughlin, who hadn't even seen a minute or a second of play after it appeared to be an elbow on Kieran Cole. But Danny Lafferty also saw a red as well for his part in the melee. See you later. In the end, Derry end up winning the game 1-0 and moves it from 1 point of European football heading into the final weeks of the season. A very good result against a very good team. Absolutely delighted.
How's it going, guys? Just quickly jumping on to give my after-match reaction to St. Patrick against Derry in the Brandywell. So, obviously, Pats lost the game 1-0, a bit of a killer. I think even game overall, probably a draw would have been the fair result. But at the end of the day, Derry capitalised when they were on top. They got their goal when Pats probably just weren't clinical enough in the final third when they really had a lot of the ball. So to go into the game in more detail, straight away, 5 minutes in, Mikey Smith had a big chance to hit the post. Then a few great through balls, Chris Forrester had a chance 1-on-1. Matty Smith had a chance 1-on-1. And then just before half time, Chris Forrester from the edge of the box hit the crossbar. And it would have been an amazing goal if it went in. It was so close, but wasn't to be. Going into half time, I felt Pats were very comfortable. Derry didn't really look like they were going to threaten. But then second half, just some things weren't working. I think Kieran Harkin maybe had a bit too much time on the ball. Your man Thompson off Derry was very good tonight. Good player. Running the channels, pressing people, very good. So I think as the second half then started, Pats were probably doing similar to they were in the first half, keeping the ball very well. Maybe weren't creating as many chances, but we still looked pretty comfortable. And then slowly Derry started to grow into the game. McGonigal was doing well, running the channels, always being an out ball. Junior was causing problems from a banquet. We weren't really threatening them then, and the tide slowly started to change. Then eventually Lee Desmond was doing well. He brought the ball out from the defence, sort of dribbling, and he got dispossessed, and Derry were quicker on the turnover. They countered us very well, and they got a cross in, and Junior was 5 yards ahead of Sambone and headed it in for a relatively easy header from the 6 yard line. So we went 1-0 down. The reaction started okay. You know, we probably weren't creating all the chances in the world, but we were okay. Then we brought on Ronan Coughlin in the 81st minute. And the first chance that he got to get near the ball, he got a straight red card for elbowing a Derry player. Very, very frustrating. I know Danny Lafferty also got sent off, but it all came from Ronan Coughlin's elbow, if we're being honest, and it really took the wind out of our sails and maybe getting an equaliser. Big brawl. If we're being honest, like the commentator said, every player in the brawl could have maybe got a yellow card, but yeah, it was an annoying one. Like Ronan Coughlin, he should be setting an example for a lot of the younger lads and to come on and within 2 minutes be sent off. It's not what you want, really, to be honest, from a professional football player. Like, it's not acceptable, to be honest. And going into Dundalk next week, which is a huge game for St. Pat's, to not have Ronan Coughlin is a kick in the teeth. Like, he should be in that squad. So overall, very annoying. Thought we did enough to maybe pick up a point, but full credit to Derry. They scored when it mattered. They held on then in the last 5 minutes. So yeah, Derry were very good. Pats, one of them days. So see you next week, guys.
Harry Keith just back from Drogheda beating Longford 2-0. Very entertaining game, good atmosphere with the lads. Great to have the crowds back. First half was a bit of a damn squib, not going to lie. You know, a couple of chances. Mark Doyle probably should have scored. Lee Stacey made a great save. But yeah, no, look, we came out second half, new team, played very, very well. Probably could have been more than two in the end. Mark Doyle forcing the save, but forcing is a bit of a, you know, over exaggeration. I think Mark Doyle had a fairly tame effort at Lee Stacey. He dropped the ball and Dara Markey nicked in and scored. Typically I missed it after seeing Doyle's shot just go straight at the keeper, but Markey on his toes when nobody else was, got in there and finished it for 1-0. Then again, second goal came shortly after. You know, Jimmy Brown, easily the best right back in the world right now. You know, he's absolutely brilliant, fittest man I've ever seen in my life. Gets down the right, clips it in, and Mark Doyle makes up for his time effort for the first goal and powers a header into the back of the net. It's a great header, brilliant win. Again, probably could have been more if we had applied ourselves a bit more, but sure, look, we'll take it. 2-0. It's huge at this stage of the season, especially with Waterford winning against Harps. So we'll take that. We go again, and fingers crossed for a good result against Derry next week. You know.
And now that I'm home, something a bit more insightful and well thought out. I think I'll get the elephant in the room out of the way first, and that's the sending off. And as I said, you know, you can't really excuse that. I don't think it was malicious, but you know, it's a rush of blood to the head. It's stupid, and you know, he can't have any complaints. Like, you know, when I saw it happen, my first thought was, you know, he's in deep trouble. So you know, that was a moment where I looked at the match and I thought, this is going to slip away from us. But that's something that I when I reflected on the match coming home, I thought to myself, that was a really spirited performance. These lads have great character. When the odds are against them, and they have been for the majority of the latter half of the season, they've really stuck together, and they've really pulled through in a lot of tight situations that in the first half of the season I think we would have been dead and buried by half time. I am going to say first of all that I couldn't pick out a single bad performance on our side. I thought Greg Halford filled in very well at right back, and it'll be great to have Dara Perra back, and as well as that, it'd be great to have Prince Mutsunguma back up front for the work he does. But John Martin then filled in nicely up front for Prince. He didn't quite do the work, but he did get the goal in the end, so I can't be too disappointed with that. And as I said, I can't pick out a bad performance, but special mention has to go to Junior Kiturna and Phoenix Patterson. The two boys just linked up so well, Harps really couldn't deal with them, and man, especially the last goal where the two of them linked up, and the one before that where Junior played in John Martin, and it's really special, and I seriously hope to God these players are signed up for next season. I seen Richie Forrest down on the running track, and hugging Phoenix Patterson when he scored that goal. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come, because if we can hold on to these players, the only way is up. And that's my more insightful stuff.
Full time in the RSC, Waterford 4, Finn Harps 1. Overall disappointing performance from Harps. I think Waterford were full value for the 3 points. I don't think Harps turned up at all. Just bad day at the office could be a good assessment of it. Personally speaking, I think Harps the first half went too attacking, and the way they set up forward to back, and I think it just kind of cost them. But it was just a bit of a mad match too when you think of it. Obviously the send off in the second half, we'll get to that, but fair play to Waterford. They took the chance in the first half, even though first half, and it must be said, but Waterford had the ascendance after the goal, after Phoenix Patterson took the goal, and it was well taken. Fair play to Phoenix Patterson. He's been very well the past few weeks. I'm surprised he was nominated for the Player of the Month award. But yeah, I can definitely see him doing well over the next few seasons, wherever he ends up. But yeah, Waterford went into the break 1 up, and obviously Harps had lost Jared Dorian in goals because of a groin injury. Mark McGinley came on, no bother the mark. And also that was 1-0 at half time. Second half, but it was stuck at 1-0 to Waterford for a long time, and ball over the top. McGinley came out, and it's just the ball seemed to run through his legs and his hands. Junior was there to points to make it 2-0 to Waterford. Harps up back then in the 84th minute with a penalty from Tunde Owolabi. It was after Brian Murphy came out, and he seemed to raise a hand towards Siddiqui. So that was basically, possibly a comeback goal for Harps, a lifeline, you could say. But they didn't get that lifeline. They put the bodies forward, and sure didn't Waterford score twice in the last 7 minutes to make it a 4-1 match. So yeah, Waterford full value for the result. Harps big focus now the next few matches. They have the likes of Drogheda, St. Pat's, Derry, and Sligo to come up. I think the match against Drogheda on the 1st of November will be a massive match, considering they're 3 points ahead of us. And it's in Ballybofey too, so hopefully we get a good crowd out for that there. But yeah, that's my overall assessment of tonight's match.
Alright lads, just a quick reaction to the game last night in Derry Park between Bohemians and Dundalk. It finished Bohs 1, Dundalk 1. A pretty fair result, I think, based on the flow of the game and a result that both sets of fans probably would have taken going into the game as well. Neither side really showed what we know they can. I think both teams were really flat. You know, the players you'd expect to make the difference, grab the game with a scruff and, you know, sort of make something happen. The likes of Michael Duffy, McElhenney, Houben, Sloggett on the Dundalk side, and then, you know, the likes of Wilson, Burt, Devoy, Ross Turley. No one really showed up, I think, to, you know, to make something happen. So overall, it was a pretty flat game. Dundalk took the lead in the first half through Sammy Benayer, a questionable 50-50 between Talbot and I think it was Houben. A lot of people thought it should have been a free kick. I think it's a 50-50. Like, you know, I think the ref got that one right. Benayer knocked it over Talbot from the edge of the box, made it 1-0. Not a questionable decision then after from the referee, you know, not giving certain frees, but then, you know, the same foul happening a minute later and he's giving it, you know, and he's booking someone for, I think both sets of managers ended up being booked, which is very weird, and I think that sort of shows a sign of the referee losing control of the game. I think, you know, when he starts flashing out the yellow cards, I thought he could have managed it a bit better. Bohs struggled to get back into the game with a lot of possession in and around the midfield. Conor Livingston helping with that, you know, good ball retention skills, but couldn't break Dundalk down, couldn't get Georgie Kelly turned and then on goal. Eventually we did get the goal through a penalty, questionable penalty at that. Georgie Kelly slotted it home to make it 1-1, and that was how it finished. We're just going to say fair play to the Dundalk fans who travelled up, made some decent noise, even though that them flares that just had, and that's fucking hell, shocking. The black ones, like, you know, pyro flares is all well and good, but Jesus, it looks like tires burning. Looks like a bonfire, but Bohs fans weren't great, to be honest. It's good that there was more people down in Block G, but just didn't make the noise that we normally would make, and I think it certainly is having an effect on the team, you know. When the fans aren't making the noise, the team don't seem to perform. Then the fans don't seem to make noise if the team isn't performing, you know. It's kind of, I'm hoping obviously that for next Friday, you know, cup semi-final, it should be a great atmosphere, you know. Looking forward to a good game of football there. Next week we've two very important games, obviously Rovers and Waterford. With the way we're playing, I wouldn't expect too much, but I'm hoping that we can pick up points against Rovers and then beat Waterford and get through to the final another day out in the Aviva. Cheers, lads.
Back from the Bohs Dundalk game there tonight, ended 1-1. It was an okay game. It wasn't a great game, I don't think, from either side. I think a draw was the fair result, but it was just hard for to take because obviously Dundalk took an early enough lead with 28 minutes into the game. It's Sammy Benamar getting his first league goal for the Lily Whites. That was cancelled out in like one of the last kicks of the game with a penalty decision to Bohs from Georgie Kelly converting from the spot. Obviously it was the far end from the away fans, so I couldn't really see it too well myself, but referee initially gave it as a free out and the linesman changed his mind. I don't know, I was too far away to see it, to be honest, and I was directly behind in goals, so obviously I can't see it too well. I'll have to see the replays, but yeah, I think it was a fair result though overall. Like, Dundalk had one bite at the apple really all night and they took it and they scored. It was a good goal again. I'd probably have to see it again because Bohs fans claiming for a free kick and that, but again, it was just the far end of the pitch. Everything's at the far end of the pitch that happened tonight, but other than that, it wasn't really, nothing really happened. It's good to see Dave McMillan back and Daniel Kelly come back as well. Shame to see Pat Hogan going off. I didn't hear anything what happened to him. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he's just a little sore or whatever and he'd be fine for Friday. But yeah, I thought Greg Sloggett had an absolute fantastic game. He was playing out of position and did not look it at all. He looked every bit of right back. I thought he done fantastically well tonight. So credit to him. He would have been my man of the match. But I'd say they'd probably give it to Georgie Kelly because he's getting everything, isn't he? But no, I'm not getting into that. But yeah, no, it was a decent game. That's all we can really say. It was a decent game. It wasn't fantastic. Like, the crowd did die in it at times because there was nothing happening. But yeah, would have taken a point going into the game, so I'm happy enough with that. At least it's not a loss. So yeah, Dundalk continue on a good run of form. Let's hope it continues on Friday in the Cup. Montown.